All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a short, but wow, incredibly powerful story from the book of Numbers. It's this really intense moment of transition, the end of an era for one high priest and the very dramatic beginning for his successor. And it all kicks off with a divine judgment. So this verse right here, this is where it all kicks off. It's a divine decree, and it is, absolutely final. For Aaron, the high priest, and Moses' brother, the journey's over. He will not set foot in the promised land. But why? What could lead to a judgment that severe? Okay, so the reason for this moment, it all comes down to something that happened in the past. And to really get why this is such a big deal for Aaron, we've got to rewind a bit and look at a pretty major failure of leadership. And the key to the whole thing is this one place, the water of Meribah. See, this is where both Moses and Aaron went against a direct command from God. God told them to speak to a rock to get water, but instead, Moses just whacks it in anger. And Aaron, he was right there, a part of it. That single act of rebellion, man, it had consequences that would follow them all the way to this final moment in Aaron's life. Now, let's look at the wording here. Gathered unto his people. This is way more than just a nice way of saying he died. It has this really deep spiritual meaning, right? It suggests he's moving from the community of the living to this eternal community of believers who've already passed on. So it's an end, sure, but it's also kind of continuation, just on a different level. So the judgment is in, and what follows is this final, really solemn journey. And this isn't happening in secret. It's totally public. This symbolic climb up a mountain, right in front of everyone, Aaron had been leading for decades. Just try to picture the scene here. You've got the entire nation of Israel just watching. They see their high priest, his brother Moses, and his son Eleazar walk away from the camp and start climbing. This is a very public, very final journey. 3 men are going up that mountain, and you just know the people down below have this sinking feeling that only 2 are coming back. So what happens up there on the summit of Mount Hor? Well, it's the absolute heart of this whole story. It's this sacred handoff of power and responsibility, and it's happening right there on the edge of life and death. The command from God is so direct and just loaded with symbolism. This is it, the main event. Moses has to literally undress his own brother, transferring not just some clothes, but an entire office, a whole identity. So what are we talking about here? What were these garments? Yeah, these were not just any clothes. You can see the list here, the ephod, the breastplate. Each one was just packed with meaning. Like the breastplate, for instance, it had these stones representing all 12 tribes of Israel. And the mitre, the hat, it was literally inscribed with holiness to the Lord. So taking these off him, it was like stripping away the very tools of his job, his entire holy office. So here's the really crucial takeaway. This is so much more than just a ceremony. When Moses takes these garments off Aaron and puts them on Eleazar, it's a visual, a physical transfer of the full weight of that office. You've got authority, you've got responsibility, passing from father to son, from one generation to the next, literally moments before Aaron's life comes to an end. Wow. Okay, so the transfer's done, and with that, the final moments of Aaron's life play out, and a brand new era for Israel's priesthood begins, right there on that lonely mountaintop. The scripture says it so simply, but the impact? It's just huge. His job is done, the next guy's in place, and right then and there, his life is over. And this gives us such a powerful picture of what's really happening, this idea of continuity. You see Moses and Eleazar coming back down the mountain. One leader's duty is complete, and the other's is just starting. Aaron, the man, is gone, but the office of the high priest, now filled by Eleazar, it just keeps going, no interruption. The work continues. And how the people reacted down below, it just proves how important he was to them. When they see only 2 men coming back down, Moses and Eleazar, now wearing the garments, they get it. They know, and they mourn for a full 30 days. It wasn't just for a man. It was for the leader who'd been this constant presence for 40 years out in the wilderness. When you boil it all down,
This whole story is a really powerful reminder of a key principle. Leaders are absolutely essential, of course, but they're also temporary. They're caretakers of a mission that's bigger than they are. The purpose they serve, well, it's designed to outlive them, to be passed from one generation to the next. And that brings us to a really interesting question, one that's just as relevant today as it was back then. So what really defines a leader's legacy? Is it all about their personal wins? How long they stayed in charge? Or is it really about how well they set the stage for whatever and whoever is coming next? Something to think about.